two sisters returned home to pick up some belongings one of them urgently needed. According to the older girl, her younger sister was running late for a sleepover at a friend's house and wanted to quickly grab some clothes. But just before walking inside, they noticed something strange on the sidewalk across from their house. There stood a shopping cart from a supermarket, stuffed to the brim with eerie-looking dolls. Curious, the sisters went closer to take a look, but their inspection didn't last long. Almost immediately, they ran inside the house, clearly spooked by something. It was at that very moment that their doorbell camera captured something completely unexpected. Here's what appeared on the recording.
We just need to go in and get your snowbag. I don't know. Shut up. Hurry up, hurry up.
I don't go to your house and mess with your shit, so don't mess with mine.
It turns out the cart full of dolls belonged to a peculiar woman. She walked right up to their house and began yelling at the sisters for touching her belongings, which included some truly disturbing items. While the woman was at the door, a shadow suddenly flickered in the hallway. Something dark and formless rushed across the floor. It's hard to make out. The object moved quickly and had no clear shape, just a black mass. I'm not saying it has to be anything paranormal, but you have to admit, it looks incredibly strange. And that wasn't the only time it appeared. The shadowy figure was spotted again, this time in the front yard. One could assume it was just a black cat darting by. Either way, let me know in the comments what you think it really was.
She sat in the back seat of her mother's Chevy Equinox with her 2-year-old daughter as they waited for Vanessa's mom to finish her appointment at a business center in Windsor, Canada. At one point during the waiting period, Vanessa noticed a suspicious man walk past their vehicle and stare at it for a little longer than necessary. Almost immediately after walking out of frame, the man doubles back around and approaches the car. With an alarmingly casual demeanor, he then enters the Chevy through the unlocked passenger door where he finds Vanessa and her daughter sitting in the back seat. Understandably terrified, Vanessa can be heard screaming at the man. Although the rest of the incident wasn't caught on camera, Vanessa reported that as soon as the man saw her, he gave her a disturbing smile, shut the door, and took off in his black pickup truck. After she reported the incident to the cops and posted the video on Facebook, some viewers theorized that the man had maybe just seen Vanessa's daughter, and thinking she was alone, he thought he could steal her. However, others thought he didn't see anybody and was just trying to steal the car. Just 3 days later, officers with the Windsor Police Property Crimes Unit saw the man drive a vehicle into a parking lot near the area of the incident. According to the police report, as soon as the man got out of the car and went into an apartment building, the cops followed and arrested him without incident. The man was immediately identified as 38-year-old Corey Oikel, and as it was later revealed, the vehicle he was found with was stolen, supporting the idea that he was only trying to steal Vanessa's car and not her daughter. Inside his car, the cops also found several stolen items from his previous car thefts, along with a bunch of random receipts that indicated the man had made fraudulent transactions using stolen property. As per the court documents that were released a couple of months later, the incident with Vanessa wasn't exactly Corey's first rodeo. After the cops were able to connect him with several other similar incidents from earlier that year, Corey was charged with 4 counts of possession of stolen property, 3 counts of theft, 2 counts of assault, uttering threats, attempted theft of a motor vehicle, theft of mail, and fraud. Fortunately, Vanessa was smart enough to scare him away by screaming before he could do anything even more messed up than his previous crimes. On March 9th, 2023, at around 12:30 p.m., an anonymous caller dialed 911 and told dispatchers that a man that had just run into a food market on Cleveland's Central Avenue was claiming that he had just been kidnapped. As soon as police arrived, they were able to talk to the alleged victim, and the jarring conversation was captured on one of the cops' body cams.
I went over there to fix his busted pipe for his washing machine. Okay. I was putting a water line for his ice and for his refrigerator. And when I got downstairs, another dude came out. They had guns on me and they robbed me. I mean, they tied me up. They had plastic laying on the ground.
Disturbingly, the zip ties and duct tape that were used in the kidnapping can still be seen on the man's body as he explains what happened to him. As the victim mentions to the cops, the perpetrators forced him into his own van, robbed him, and then held him for ransom before he managed to escape.
So they put this on my face, they get me in my van, and they bring me over here, they turn the location up on my phone. One of the guys is in back with me. And
which way did the car go?
Huh?
Where'd the car go?
It was parked this way, and I ran all the way down here to here. We were parked right over there.
You're parked at 49? What kind of car was it?
It's my van.
As the cops later found out, the main perpetrator was 51-year-old Ahmed Johnson, whom the victim had been in federal prison with at some point in his life. After digging deeper into the case, they uncovered the whole story of the kidnapping. As the victim mentioned in the video, the kidnapper had hired him for a plumbing job, and when he arrived at the house in Cleveland's Buckeye Woodhill neighborhood, he was led downstairs where he would allegedly be shown the leaky pipe that he had to fix. Once downstairs, Ahmed led the victim to another room, where another man jumped out and held him at gunpoint. After stealing his phone and Apple Watch, the kidnappers bound the victim and put him into the back of his own van. As the perpetrators drove the van towards the city's central neighborhood, they made the victim call a friend and bring around $15,000 to a nearby gas station in exchange for his return. But as the van slowed down, the victim somehow managed to jump out and ran down East 49th Street. Thinking quickly, the victim ran into a convenience store where he would be protected by the public eye, causing the suspects to drive off. 2 weeks later, the cops managed to make an arrest, and Ahmed Johnson was charged in Cleveland court with aggravated kidnapping. As of today, there have been no further updates to the case. This happened in Bowling Green, Kentucky, a town which, at the time, a man named Bruce Wilkerson was the mayor of. He owned a small house in the area that he was in the middle of renovating, but he would still stay there overnight in the weeks the house was being worked on. It was the middle of the night on April 22nd, 2020, when Bruce was woken up to loud noises coming from the house's basement. As he was coming to, he also recalled smelling cigarette smoke. Now, the basement was more of a cellar, and then you had to go outside to actually get to it. Bruce went outside and walked up to its entrance. Right away, he noticed blood smeared across the basement door. Not a lot, but enough to raise concern. He opened the door and walked inside. There, he found a backpack filled with women's clothing and other various items. Bruce immediately called the Bowling Green Police Department, a department which he had previously worked for as a police officer. He asked them if there were any reports of a missing woman, but he was told that there were none, so he closed the basement door and went back upstairs. Only moments after he got back inside, the house suddenly lost power. This prompted him to again go back out to the basement. This time he noticed the basement door was open. He once again searched inside, and now found a woman who looked to be in her 20s. She was disheveled and covered in dirt. The woman told Bruce one thing, that she was hiding from someone. Bruce offered to call the police, but to that she immediately left the basement and ran away. Nothing had been stolen, so he wasn't interested in her arrest, but he still ended up calling the police. Police searched the surrounding area, however they never found the woman. It's still unknown how long she had been staying there. Her identity is also still unknown, and with no relevant missing person cases, it's likely this won't change anytime soon. She hasn't been seen ever since.